In celebration of Clove Technology's 20th anniversary, we are very pleased today to bring you a very special unboxing. Such is the importance of this unboxing that a videocast is being screened live across the world. Ladies and gentlemen, in an era when technology is moving so fast, I have great pleasure to unveil to you today the Psion Series 5 Special Edition. So let's have a closer look at this Series 5 Special Edition. This particular unit comes in a special colour of a blue and green. You have an option to send off for a free mulberry case, and you'll be pleased to learn that you're able to sync this to your PC, provided your PC is running no more than Windows 95. Also has the benefit of a backlit touch screen. So let's get inside and have a look at what we have with the Psion Series 5 Special Edition. Firstly, on the back, it's beginning to give us some indication of just how powerful this unit is. We have Psion Words, so we can do word processing, Psion Sheet to allow us to create spreadsheets. We can even create PowerPoint compatible presentations. We can carry our diary, obviously useful, where we can put events within this unit and they'll carry forward to the next year. We can carry a full database, and it's a free-form database, unlike some others. We've already mentioned that we can connect to a PC, however we would need to have a Windows 95 PC. And in communications, we can use this, we can connect it to a modem, for example, and we can collect our email. We'll be able to send faxes, and we can even use it as a web browser. Also, there's capability to connect it to your mobile phone, so you'd be able to use this completely on the move as a mobile device. Who knows, one day we might find that they decide to integrate those sort of features into a mobile phone, and we could possibly end up with something, I don't know, something like a smartphone perhaps, but that's obviously for the future. Anyway, let's get this box opened. As we can see, it comes in a very, very stylish black box. Let's open the top of this one and see what we have inside. We firstly have a registration document, which we could send off to Psion to register the unit. It's going to give us 12 months manufacturer's warranty and a lot of support. I would be very interested if we sent that off to them now to the address that was there or that telephone number, what indeed would happen. Perhaps I might try it just out of interest. It's giving me some brief information there of how I can connect it to my Windows 95 PC. It does come with a serial cable, which is going to connect obviously from RS2 to a serial port. There are fortunately adaptations that you can get it now to connect to USB if you needed to, which I would guess most of us would need to do. Inside, manufacturer's warranty, which said is already a year's warranty. We then have a booklet on the Cywin software itself. Very comprehensive booklet, naturally in a few languages. It's going to get us started and take us through all of the things we need to do if we wish to connect it to our PC. That simply means, of course, that we'll be able to back this up to our PC. We'll be able to take all of our data from our Psion and keep it safe on the PC. Looking inside then, we have a very comprehensive instruction manual, highly unusual these days because we know, most of the instruction manuals we nowadays see on these units tend to either be on the unit itself or otherwise just as PDFs. But no, they've given us a very, very good quality instruction manual that's going to take me through all of the applications on the machine. You can see they're explaining the spreadsheet to you. And it goes through the database, the sketch, calc, time, and agenda. A lot of inbuilt facilities on this machine. Okay, let's move that one out of the way. As we said, we can connect to a PC, so we have an RS232 cable that's going to go from the Psion out to a serial port on your PC. Let's get to the unit itself, and here we have it in this blue-green, a very special edition. So firstly, the unit itself has a couple of slots on it. I'll come back to those. The unit itself runs on 2 AA batteries. The benefit, obviously, the AA batteries, it doesn't mean that I'm going to have to constantly connect it up to power to recharge it. I can simply buy 2 easily accessible batteries and can continue with my work. Obviously, AA batteries do run out, and you might say to me, well, when they run out, I'm going to lose all my data. You won't, fortunately, because they've thought of that. And to this side, I have another port which will accept this RS232 lithium battery, and that will preserve all of my data if indeed the machine was to lose its main battery power. On the other side, we have another slot, and this slot will actually take a compact flash card, so I can add to the memory. So actually a card like this we can simply insert into the machine, and this will increase the memory on the machine. At present, and at the time this was launched, we had these up to a whopping 512 megabytes, and at the time they were costing really a very, very cost-effective £500 for 500 megabytes, so that was equating to £1,000 per gigabyte of memory. Great deal, I'm sure you will agree. If I turn the machine over, I will come back to the record buttons in a minute. We can now open it up, and this is some of the uniqueness. Actually, let's move this out of the way so we can get at the machine properly. And this is some of the real uniqueness of the Psion Series 5. As I open it up, you see it's got a clamshell design and an absolutely superb workable keyboard. If I turn it to the side, you'll see, of course, what we are doing with this is it's a very, very neat and innovative design. Then I can close it down as I open it. Just do that. As I open it, you see the keyboard slides out and the screen comes into a very useful working position. And put that down, you can see it. That actually is a stunning screen on this unit. It's also a backlit screen, which I'll come on and show you later. But the keyboard itself is probably the best keyboard that we've ever seen on a device such as this. Close it back up actually for a second, and then I can show you some of the other things on the side. We have a stylus, and all I do is I pull this out, and I now gain access to the stylus, and the stylus can then be used upon the screen. The unit comes actually with this black stylus, but you'll be pleased to know in all special editions, if you chose to, you can actually have gold-plated styluses as well. Turning the machine on, I simply press the on button at the top, and you'll see if I press back to the system screen, I now come back to the main screen. I'm trying to get it there so you're not getting any reflection of the light. And you see on here, of course, I've got some of my applications coming immediately up onto this touch screen. So, for example, if I wanted to go into this Word document, I can simply touch it, and actually that double touch it actually will take me into that document. I'm now into that document. As you can see, I have zoom buttons at the side, which I can press, will bring up the actual text for me and make actually that text larger. The good news is, whilst I have got a stylus, and the stylus, like you can see, I can select data on the screen. A lot of the time, I can also just use my fingers. So from this application, if I simply press back the system key, I'm back to the main menu. And if I wanted now to get into data, for example, I can simply click it twice, and I'm now actually into the data. Hopefully you can see on there, I've only got 2 data entries at the moment. But this is a true free-form database. So one of the benefits of the Psion over many other devices that were available simply means that I can put different information into the unit. I could put names and addresses, which I'm normally going to use. I could put information on my bank accounts. I could put information on other things like birth dates or lists of my CD collection. The good news with the free-form database is if somebody had called me, for example, and just given me their telephone number, I could just search just on their telephone number and it will bring me back actually with their data. It's very, very innovative, the features that this brings to it. Running down now across all the applications that we have, by default I'm going to come back to the system button, and then we can look at all of these features that we have. The first one, which we initially showed you, was the Word feature. So this is a full Microsoft compatible Word processor. I then have Spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet, I can create my own spreadsheets, I can import spreadsheets from my PC, and I can then print these spreadsheets out as well. Very powerful in what it does. And you'll see on all of these functions, I've got the standard editing functions of bold, indenting, underlining, putting text boxes in. It's all available in also the font style and the font size. The database we just showed you, and this one, as you can see, it's Clove Technology's address that has been placed within it. I have an agenda, and with the agenda I have a number of views. I have the standard day view, as you're seeing here, but if I simply go across and touch on the views, I could have it as a week view. I could touch and have it as a year planner. I could also go on and have it as an anniversary view, which will simply bring up all reminders of the anniversaries, birthdays and events that I need to remember. And if I press it finally, I can go on and you will see I've got a to-do list. And I have a to-do list, and also I could put notes against those to-do entries. The next one we work onto is the time feature. And this will bring me on firstly to an alarm clock, where we can set the alarms. And if we look to actually say set an alarm on here, so going to set an alarm actually say here, you'll notice I have the ability to change the sound that the alarm actually can make, and it's got some absolute stunning sounds that we can use actually here, as you'll hear now. And if I go back into that entry, and let's go and change that for one of the other ones. What else have we got? We've got probably the best here, I think, which is the fanfare. So let's just listen to that fanfare as well. We'll just cancel it. Actually, the alarm has just gone off where I did it, so I'm just going to clear that alarm back down. An amazing feature, I'm sure you'll be appreciated on this unit. Let's close that down to this. What we've also got on here, I can go on to map, and this will give me the ability to see world times. So at the moment, obviously, we're showing the time in the UK, and we're also showing the time in Sydney, Australia. So all of the world times are fitted within there as well. Then go on to calculator, and the calculator is a fully functional calculator that we have with memory features, and we can go on to scientific features as well. And then we have a sketch feature on the unit. We can add icons as we have here. So simply if I click onto this button, I'm presented with a number of images that I can add. I can simply scroll them down onto the screen, and I can make them the size that I wish them to be. As you see, I've got free text, so I can type onto the unit as well, and I can naturally, if I choose to, simply look to erase the items as well. Following on from here, you'll see we have extras. If I press onto extras, I'm given a new bar of items that I could use, and these can be added to, because as before we said we had the compact flash slot on the unit. Not only can we use that for memory, we can also add additional programs. So we could add finance packages to it. We could add further games to it. We could add phrase books like the Berlitz phrase interpreter. There's time management systems, and also very innovative, although I don't have it on the unit today, really interesting software package that is available to it is something called Route Planner. There were various variations of this unit across the Psion range. The new version, Route Planner, is now actually made by Palmtop. Palmtop's name eventually changed into TomTom. And who knows, you could use this in your car. You'd be able to use it for car navigation, get yourself to places. It might catch on. You never know. You might see companies producing dedicated car navigation systems in the future. We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to press onto that extras button again and show the other ones we have. We have a spell checker. We have OPL programming. This unit runs under Epoch operating system, which means you can program yourself in OPL. So if I felt so inclined, I could go into this application and I could now write my own program. And many people have. It's fairly easy to use. I'm now going to come back to the system screen and go back onto those extras just to show you the final two. Comms will link me to my modem, or as I said, to my mobile phone, and also to my PC. I have a record, which allows me now to record directly onto the Psion 5MX. And just while I'm showing you this, and this will bring me back to those other buttons with it, because of course I could open up the machine like this and now do the recording. However, what I can also do is simply move these buttons in, and now I could simply very quickly press record, and it would now immediately be recording my voice. And this could be useful, for example, in a car if I wanted to take voice memos. I know the police have banned you from using your mobile phone in the car. I probably don't think the legislation extends to using a Psion 5 and voice recording, but who knows. But certainly it's a great opportunity just to do a voice recording. I can simply stop it, like that, and then I can either go into the unit or actually simply play it from here. Or perhaps we need to go into the unit because it's not going to play for me. Nope, there we go, that didn't actually record. Let's just try that in a different way, so I'm going to record it just to show you here. It could be those buttons are slightly faulty after all these years. Let's press the record there. It is now recording. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Let's stop it and see what we get. There we go. You can see actually that unit has recorded. I think, to be fair, and it was always an issue with these, is simply those buttons are not working quite correctly. While I'm actually on the back of the machine again, there's one other feature I would like to show you. We have a notification light on the front. This will tell you when you are charging your unit or it's actually connected to charge. And actually, say we've got standard AA batteries within there. This will also tell you some other notifications, but mostly actually simply to inform you that you are got it on mains power. You can connect to mains power. There is a mains connection just there, which is going to take actually the power in. Also at the back, we showed you where that RS232 slot was. Directly next to it, we have this, which is an infrared port. Now the infrared port will allow me to connect directly to an infrared printer, and also would allow me to connect directly to another Psion. So I could have a piece of data on my machine, and I might wish to send it directly to your Psion. To do that, I would simply go into the application itself. I would go into data, and I could then ask for this actual address to be sent directly to you. And as long as you had your Psion behind mine, directly behind mine, and in line with the infrared, the data would immediately be sent then to your machine. An amazing feature. You know, who knows, in the future they might decide to do that in other ways. I've heard of things called NFC, for example, that might come into them, but we'll obviously have to wait to see if that technology ever comes through and comes to light. But I think you can see with this that the Psion has got some amazing inbuilt features, and one of the ones on this unit that I've actually left to last for you. You can obviously see the quality of the screen is very, very good, but I can also simply backlight the screen. Now, you might find that difficult to see. In this actually say lighting, so I'm going to take it off again. Okay, just to help you see that backlighting slightly better, I've just turned the main actually lights off, so there we have the screen actually normal, and I can now turn it on and you'll see that backlighting. Makes a huge difference to the screen density, as you can see there, so much clearer to read in low light condition. Okay, that's probably going to be about wrapping up the brief demonstration on this new Psion 5 Special Edition. However, just to show you some of the innovative menus that this unit has, if I go into that document again, which is Welcome to the Series 5, I have it there. As we said, at the side I can use just the zoom buttons, and I could use my fingers as well. The screen is actually that sensitive to allow me to do it. And if I press the menu key, you'll see very Windows-like. Hopefully you can see those. I've got menus going across the top, from File and Edit to create new files. I can create password protected documents. I can send them for printing. I've got copy and paste features available. I can change the zoom. I can select the toolbars. I'm able to insert items, be it a sketch that we produce, for example. I'd be able to insert that directly into my documents. I could put a graph within there. I'm able to, to actually control the line breaks. For example, I can change the text size that we saw before. and I can obviously handle the paragraphing, and also I've got more tools in terms of doing a spell check, word counts, and paginating. So very ahead of what it can actually do on this unit. So we have there the Psion Series 5 8MB special edition with backlit screen. I'm sure you'll agree this is a stunning product that we're so pleased that we've had the opportunity to demonstrate to you. I'm sure this is going to be a huge success. You might have to wait a while before we can take back orders on our website for this particular unit. Many thanks. You'll be aware that this presentation on the Series 5 8MB special edition has a different voice, an unfamiliar voice to it. Jonathan tends to do the majority of our video blogs. The problem actually with the Series 5 was there was probably only 2 people in the company that were old enough to remember actually how to use one of these devices. So you've had the privilege of having this video presentation given to you by Chris Love.